In the sleepy town of Blackwood, a haunting past lurked beneath the surface of its idyllic facade. Over a century ago, a wicked soul named Silas Greystone terrorized the community. His gruesome reign of terror ended when he was captured and hanged for his heinous crimes, but his malevolent spirit never truly departed. It was a dark and stormy night when the chilling whispers of Silas Greystone's restless spirit began to echo through the streets once more. A series of murders commenced, each victim chosen randomly but marked by a gruesome signature, their faces mutilated beyond recognition. As the body count increased, panic spread like wildfire throughout Blackwood. The townsfolk locked their doors and windows, yet Silas seemed to slip through the shadows like an ethereal specter, leaving no trace of his presence. In the face of terror, the town called upon a seasoned investigator, Detective Robert Harrison. With a troubled past of his own, Harrison was known for his relentless pursuit of justice and unyielding determination. As he delved deeper into the chilling case, he found himself haunted by the ever-present whispers of the malevolent spirit. At each crime scene, Harrison discovered obscure symbols etched into the walls, cryptic messages left behind by the sinister entity. These symbols led him to an old abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town, the same dwelling where Silas Greystone once lived. As the storm raged on, Detective Harrison ventured into the decaying mansion, its creaking floorboards and foreboding aura testifying to its dark history. Armed with a flashlight and a heart pounding with dread, he stepped further into the labyrinthine horrors that awaited. Within the dilapidated mansion, Harrison found eerie drawings on the walls, depicting the grotesque murders. Silas' malevolent presence grew stronger, pushing the detective to the brink of madness. Each step he took seemed to lead deeper into the clutches of the malevolent spirit. As Harrison pressed on, he unearthed the truth behind Silas Greystone's wicked past. The serial killer was once a charismatic preacher, but a sinister darkness consumed him, leading him down a path of unspeakable atrocities. Silas had formed a cult in secret, performing gruesome rituals to appease dark entities. In a twisted bid for immortality, he sought to unleash an ancient curse upon the town, ensuring his presence would haunt Blackwood for eternity. Harrison realized that he needed to confront Silas' spirit head-on to stop the relentless killings. Armed with ancient artifacts and the knowledge of the cult's dark rituals, he performed a dangerous exorcism, attempting to banish the malevolent spirit once and for all. The nightmarish battle ensued within the crumbling mansion, as reality and the supernatural collided. Harrison fought against the vengeful spirit, every moment testing his resolve and sanity. As the final confrontation approached, the storm outside intensified, unleashing torrential rains and thunderous roars. Within the mansion, the forces of darkness seemed to converge upon Harrison, trying to snuff out his light. In an act of desperation, Harrison used the last of his strength to perform the exorcism. He recited ancient incantations, clashing with Silas' haunting whispers. At the brink of exhaustion, the malevolent spirit's grip weakened. In a burst of blinding light, Silas' malevolent spirit was vanquished. Harrison collapsed, drained both physically and emotionally. The ancient curse was lifted, and the town of Blackwood was freed from the clutches of the serial killer's haunting past. In the wake of the storm, the town began to heal, but the memories of the horrific events would forever linger. Detective Robert Harrison became a legend, a hero who had faced the darkness and emerged victorious. The mansion, once a den of evil, was left abandoned, a grim reminder of the horrors that had transpired within its walls. And though the evil spirit was gone, whispers of Silas Greystone's reign continued to echo through the darkest corners of Blackwood. The tale of the serial killer and the brave detective would become a chilling legend passed down through generations, a reminder to never forget the shadows of the slaughter that once haunted their town. And so the darkness lay dormant, biding its time, waiting for another stormy night to awaken once more. In the small, quiet town of Ravenwood, nestled deep within the heart of America, a chilling darkness lurked beneath the tranquil surface. As autumn settled in, bringing with it a cool mist that veiled the streets, a series of gruesome murders began to terrify the once peaceful community. The locals whispered of a sinister figure known only as the Shadowed Pursuit, a cunning serial killer who struck fear into the hearts of all who crossed their path. The first victim, a young woman named Emily, was found near the edge of the woods, her lifeless body bound in a grotesque display. Fear gripped Ravenwood like a vice, as rumors of the sinister figure spread through the town like wildfire. Detective Alex Turner, a seasoned investigator haunted by his own demons, was assigned to the case. As the bodies continued to pile up, he realized that the killer seemed to strike with a disturbing precision, always leaving a signature mark on their victims, a chilling symbol etched into their flesh with cold precision. With each gruesome discovery, the Shadowed Pursuit became bolder, taunting the police with cryptic messages left at the crime scenes. The town's once comforting ambience turned suffocating, and residents barricaded themselves behind locked doors as darkness fell. As the investigation intensified, Detective Turner was forced to confront the dark corners of his own psyche, haunted by a tragic loss from his past. Determined to unravel the enigma behind the Shadowed Pursuit, he delved into the abyss of the killer's twisted mind, studying the cryptic messages for clues. One gloomy night, a storm howled through Ravenwood, casting eerie shadows that danced along the deserted streets. A witness came forward, trembling with fear, recounting a chilling encounter. A dark figure had stalked them from the shadows, their malevolent eyes gleaming in the darkness. The townspeople now feared venturing outside, unsure who among them could be the next target. Detective Turner's pursuit of the killer led him into a labyrinth of secrets and lies. Suspects emerged from the shadows, casting doubt on the innocence of those once trusted. He tirelessly questioned each lead, determined to stop the madness that gripped Ravenwood. The investigation took a toll on the entire town, its once tightly knit community unraveling under the weight of fear and suspicion. In the midst of chaos, Detective Turner found an unexpected ally in Jane, a brave journalist determined to uncover the truth. Together, they discovered a haunting pattern that connected the victims, a shared past that ran deep and held dark secrets. As the puzzle pieces fell into place, they found themselves entangled in the twisted web of the Shadowed Pursuit. The serial killer's trail grew colder, as if they could anticipate every move the investigators made. It became evident that the Shadowed Pursuit was always one step ahead, watching from the shadows, playing a dangerous game with those pursuing them. The climax neared as the night of Halloween approached. It seemed the killer was saving their most horrifying act for this ominous night. The town's dread intensified, wondering who would be their macabre offering to the malevolent entity stalking their streets. As the final confrontation loomed, Detective Turner faced his darkest fears and summoned every ounce of strength to protect the town and unmask the killer's true identity. The revelation would be more shocking than anyone could have imagined, shaking Ravenwood to its core. In a harrowing showdown that would decide the fate of the town, the Shadowed Pursuit's reign of terror would meet its ultimate reckoning. The night was filled with suspense, tension, and an eerie stillness as the moonlight painted the streets in silver. Ravenwood would never be the same again, scarred by the horrors that had unfolded in its midst. The shadows that once concealed the darkness now seemed to whisper the tale of the sinister figure, forever etched into the town's history. And so the story of the Shadowed Pursuit would echo through time, serving as a grim reminder that evil could lurk anywhere, even in the most unsuspecting of places, and that in the face of darkness, true courage was the only light that could prevail. In the small, unsuspecting town of Ravenwood, nestled deep within the heart of America, a shadow lurked in the darkest corners. For years, the townspeople had whispered in hushed tones about the legend of the Ravenwood Reaper, a serial killer who struck fear into the hearts of all who dared utter his name. No one knew who he was or where he came from, but the Reaper's reign of terror had left a chilling mark on the town. Every month, like clockwork, a new victim would be found, their lifeless body bearing the haunting signature of the Reaper, a raven-shaped tattoo etched on their forehead. Detective Alex Turner was determined to catch the elusive killer. He had seen crime scenes that would make even the bravest shudder, but the Ravenwood Reaper's work was beyond gruesome. Each victim was carefully chosen, seemingly random, yet there was a method to his madness that kept the town paralyzed with fear. One dark and stormy night, as rain lashed against the windows of the police station, a break in the case finally came. A survivor emerged, the first to have seen the Reaper's face and lived to tell the tale. Her eyes were wide with terror as she described a figure draped in a tattered black cloak, his face obscured by a porcelain mask adorned with a chilling grin. As Detective Turner delved deeper into the survivor's account, he uncovered a disturbing pattern. The Reaper seemed to have a fascination with ravens. Black feathers were left at each crime scene as if to taunt the authorities. Clues were scattered, but they led nowhere. The town became a ghost town at night, as the residents locked themselves indoors, fearing that the Reaper would strike again. With each passing day, the darkness grew deeper, and the weight of the unsolved mystery hung heavy on Turner's shoulders. One night, Turner was called to the scene of the latest murder. As he arrived, the air felt different, and eerie silence had fallen over the usually bustling town. Inside the mansion's decaying walls, Turner's heart pounded in his chest. The silence was deafening. He felt the chilling presence of someone watching him, lurking in the shadows. His flashlight flickered as he climbed the creaky staircase to the upper floor. Then, in the dim light, he saw a figure standing in the hallway, the raven-shaped mask staring back at him. The Reaper had been waiting for him. Fear paralyzed Turner for a moment, but he knew he had to act fast. Gun drawn, he pursued the cloaked figure, their footsteps echoing through the mansion. But the Reaper was quick, darting through secret passages and hidden doors, always one step ahead. Turner felt as if the house itself was conspiring against him, as if the Reaper had become one with the darkness. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the chase led them to the mansion's dusty attic. The Reaper turned to face Turner, the porcelain mask reflecting the detective's terror-stricken expression. The cold, soulless eyes behind the mask seemed to pierce through him. In that tense moment, Turner remembered the survivor's words. There was something familiar about the Reaper's fascination with ravens. And then it hit him like a bolt of lightning: his grandfather's old journals. As a child, Turner had read about a series of unsolved murders that haunted Ravenwood decades ago, a killer known as the Ravenwood Ripper, who also left black feathers at his crime scenes. The similarities were too striking to be coincidental. With newfound determination, Turner lunged at the Reaper, overpowering him in a desperate struggle. The porcelain mask fell, revealing the face of an elderly man, the same face he had seen in his grandfather's old photo albums. In the end, the legend of the Ravenwood Reaper was shattered, but the scars it left on the town and its people would never fade. Detective Turner had faced the darkness head-on and had come out alive, but he knew that evil could take on many forms and could lie dormant, waiting to resurface in the shadows. Ravenwood would forever be haunted by the chilling tale of the serial killer who had once roamed its streets, a reminder that darkness can hide behind even the most familiar faces. And so the town remained cautious, never knowing when the raven's ominous caw would break the silence once again.